So I had a dream last night that I was hanging out with this very environmentally conscious couple, and they had two kids, and we didn't have too much in common, but they were friends, and they told me they were getting rid of their current vehicle and they were trading it in for a very environmentally conscious vehicle. Well, the truck that they got looked like a truck that my toddler would play with on the floor. It was sort of like a green truck with a large yellow water tank in the back, but it was the size of a pickup truck. It did not have a battery. It did not have an engine. It was really like those little push trucks that toddlers use on the floor. But it was the size of a regular pickup truck. So they would go down hills to get up speed, and then they would coast. And then when they needed to go uphill, they would just take turns getting out and pushing from behind. So I saw them doing this on occasion in front of our house. So there was a little bit of a hill. So they would go by our house. And I just started feeling so bad for the boy, the oldest boy. He was probably about 9 or 10 years old. But they didn't have room for him in the front cab. So he would be hanging on the back, and the water tank filled up the back, so that he was just sort of hanging onto the side of the back of the truck. Not even the tailgate, he's on the side of the truck. And I would always notice that when they were going downhill, he would just be holding on, like shaking, and his face would be red. And I just felt so bad for him. So I offered to ride. Somehow I could fit beside the water tank and this little boy couldn't. But anyway, I was gonna sit beside the water tank and hold onto his hands while they went down the hill. I offered to do this for them. I don't know how often, but in my dream, it's one particular time where I offered to do this. Now, while I'm holding his hands, I'm looking into his face, and I realize it's a kid that I taught 15 years ago now, but anyway, he's still like 9 or 10 years old, same age when I taught him, and he's getting red faced and he's shaking, and I'm just holding on. I'm like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And anyway, we get to the bottom of the hill, and the parents stop, and they decide that they're hungry and they're thirsty and tired, and they just want to stop here at the end of this hill, or the bottom of this hill. So they get out of the car, and I notice that their little baby has what looks like chili all over his head. Like, just gross. Like, chili is like dripping off of his head. So for some weird reason, I also have a diaper bag with me. And even though my children are not with me, I have a diaper bag. So I go in and I get a wipe. But the only wipe I had was dirty. It was a soiled wipe. Now, why I'm carrying this around, I don't know, but anyway. So I take the soiled wipe and wipe the chili, or try to wipe the chili off his head. It was so disgusting. And then we look around, and there happens to be what looks like a Hardee's right across the way. And so they said, yeah, let's go. And it looked just like a Hardee's. But when we got inside, it was actually like a Christmas themed restaurant. And so it was decorated very well, but they had almost no selection. So they had this giant menu, but everything we would ask for, they'd say, no, we don't have that. No, we don't have that. So they really had like one entree, one side. And it wasn't, I don't remember what it was, but I just remember I didn't want it. And so I just told them I'm not hungry. And then they got so worried that I had a stomach virus And I said, no, if I had a stomach virus, I couldn't be standing here smelling this food. I'm fine. I'm not hungry. So anyway, they ordered food, and then so I just sort of walk around, and my son is all of a sudden there. My oldest son is there, and so we walk around and look at all the decorations, and there was this little woman dressed up as Mrs. Claus, and she was giving out stockings. And so my oldest son goes over and gets a stocking, and he looks inside, and there's like what looks like a pixie stick, and he pulls out the pixie stick, and he said, oh, she gave me a cigarette. And we all laughed, and I went and showed the couple, and we laughed about it, and then I woke up.